All right, today we're going to go on this incredible architectural tour. But here's the twist. The building we're exploring, it's you, it's us. We're going to break down the actual blueprint of the human body from its tiniest bricks to its most complex rooms. So go ahead and grab your hard hat because we're starting at the very foundation. It's one of those questions we don't really stop and think about, right? We live inside this amazing, complicated structure our whole lives. But how does it all actually fit together? How do we go from something you can't even see to, well, to the person looking back at you in the mirror? That's exactly what we're going to unpack. And yeah, this image right here, it basically lays out the whole journey for us. See, it all starts with these individual building blocks, the cells. Then those cells team up to form tissues, and finally those tissues get assembled into fully functioning organs, just like the stomach you see here. This whole idea, this hierarchy from simple to complex, is one of the most fundamental rules in all of biology. So let's walk through it, step by step. Okay, so let's start at square one, the absolute foundation of everything, the cell. If we're really going to stick with this idea of the body as this grand piece of architecture, then cells are the raw material. They're the bricks, the lumber, the steel, everything is made from them. And honestly, this is the perfect way to think about it. Just like Legos, cells are the smallest individual parts that actually do something. You can't build anything without them. And just like you have all those different Lego shapes for different jobs, our cells come in all sorts of shapes and sizes too. But here's the thing, a cell is way more than just a simple brick. It's more like a bustling miniature city. Inside, you've got all these tiny structures called organelles that are like the city's infrastructure. You've got power plants, the mitochondria churning out energy. You've got factories, the ribosomes building proteins. And right there in the middle, you have the nucleus. That's City Hall, holding all the blueprints and calling all the shots. And this is where it gets really cool, this idea of specialization. A muscle cell, for instance, is long and skinny, specifically designed to contract and pull, creating movement. A nerve cell, on the other hand, looks totally different. It's long with all these branches, basically built like a biological wire, perfect for zapping signals across the body. The shape always matches the job. Okay, so what happens when you start snapping all those different Lego bricks together? Well, you get to the next level of our building, tissues. This is where individual cells stop being lone wolves and start working together as a team, creating the actual fabric of our bodies. And one of the first and most important fabrics we need to talk about is epithelial tissue. Just look at how neat and tidy these cells are, all packed together in these perfect sheets. This stuff lines our organs and makes up our skin. A great way to think of it is as the body's wallpaper. It's this protective layer covering all the surfaces. So how do they form such a strong barrier? Well, it all comes down to teamwork. I mean, literally, they physically hold on to each other. It's kind of like a crowd of people linking arms to form a chain that nobody can get through. These cells use special connections, called junctions, to bind themselves together super tightly. And they don't just link up in one way. They've got different tools for the job. A tight junction, for example, is exactly what it sounds like. It's a waterproof seal, making sure nothing can leak between the cells. Then you have something called a gap junction, which is more like a secret door. It's a tiny channel that connects two cells so they can pass messages and materials directly back and forth. It's all about control and communication. All right, now let's look at something completely different. A huge contrast to that neat wallpaper we just saw. This is connective tissue. Yeah, it looks a lot messier, right? More like a tangled web. But that messiness is actually its superpower. This is the body's scaffolding, its packing material. It's a mix of cells and strong fibers that gives us structure, holds our organs in place, and just fills in all the gaps. All right, let's recap. We've got our bricks, the cells, we've got our fabrics, the tissues. Now it's time to put them all together and build something really amazing, a fully functional organ. And for our star example, we are going to look inside the stomach. The stomach is just a total masterclass in biological engineering. It's not made of just one thing. It's a brilliant combination of all four major tissue types. You've got that epithelial tissue on the inside protecting it from acid. You've got connective tissue holding its shape. You've got powerful muscle tissue to make it move. And of course, nervous tissue to control the whole operation. They all have to work in perfect harmony. So what's the stomach's big job? Well, it's not just some bag for holding your food. This quote from our source material just says it all perfectly. For about 3 hours, your stomach acts like this powerful industrial machine. It's a cement mixer, just violently churning and blending everything you ate. But how does it generate that kind of power? So, how does it pull off that incredible cement mixer action? The secret is in its muscle. See, most of your digestive tract has two layers of muscle, but the stomach, it has a secret weapon, a unique third layer of muscle called the oblique layer. This is what makes it so special. So you've got one layer shortening it, another layer squeezing it, and then bam, this special third layer adds this powerful twisting motion. That three-dimensional squeeze is what creates the perfect churn. So this entire architectural blueprint we've been talking about, it's all written in the language of tissues. And for centuries, we've been trying to read that language with microscopes. But now, well, new technology is about to make us completely fluent. And this, right here, is where artificial intelligence enters the story. AI is completely changing the game in a field called histology, which really is just the fancy word for the science of studying tissues under a microscope. It's giving doctors and scientists these incredibly powerful new tools to see and understand these blueprints like never before. The best way to think about it is like having a superhuman pathologist on your team. These AI algorithms can scan millions of cells in just seconds to automatically figure out what kind of tissue they're looking at. They can spot tiny abnormalities, like the very first signs of a disease, with a precision that a human eye might miss. They can count cells, measure how they're growing, and even track them in real time as they move around to heal a wound. It's like we finally get to watch the body's construction crew at work. You know, when you step back and look at this whole journey, from a tiny cell all the way up to an organ, it shows you something really profound. This isn't just a random pile of parts that happen to work. It's a brilliantly designed system. It's a masterclass in natural intelligence, where every single piece, down to the smallest cell, has a very specific and important purpose. And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? For hundreds of years, we've been slowly learning to read these biological blueprints. Now that AI is giving us the ability to read them fluently, almost like a superpower, what new secrets about our health, about disease, and about life itself are we about to uncover? Thanks so much for joining me.